Things could get testy. Let's switch gears a little bit here to that remarkable story that involved our Black Ops kidnapping victim, Jessica Buchanan, and her family could be getting back together today.
Great.
I love it. I know. Thrilled for her, really. She was freed from her Somali kidnappers by an elite Navy SEALs unit and other military members early this week. Rescue operations were pulled off by that same SEAL Team 6 group that got Osama bin Laden last year. We don't know if it was the same men, but it was the same unit. You ready for this? They parachuted in, landed about 2 miles away. They came in the fixed wings, right? Real quiet, real high up. Came down in the black of night in their the parachutes, marched that 2 miles to the compound, encountered enemy gunfire, took out 9 of the Somali gunmen, all of them. All those gunmen killed, but not one of our guys killed. 32-year-old American Jessica Buchanan and 60-year-old Danish citizen Poul Sisted were both unharmed and rescued by waiting helicopters that swooped in to get them. I can't tell you just how exciting this story is because they're safe, and it could have gone 2 different ways. Live from Nairobi, Kenya right now is Nkampile Mabuse, who's our correspondent there. All right, I just got to ask you about how things went down there. That is a remarkable operation, and when we see the graphics, I know it's not exactly like it really was in Nkampile, but it sure does look a lot like the bin Laden raid. They had this absolutely down to a T, didn't they?
And a lot of people say much riskier than the bin Laden raid. This was a daring and dramatic raid by U.S. Special Forces, who really parachuted into Somalia in the middle of the night. And then, as you said, advancing on foot towards those compounds where the 2 hostages were being kept. A gunfire, 9 people killed. We're hearing from government sources on the ground that there were some injuries and that some hostage takers were also taken captive by the U.S. forces. But of course the White House has not confirmed this. And then the hostages were taken to Djibouti, which is where the U.S. has its biggest military camp here in Africa. It's just northeast of where I am here in Kenya. Really dramatic stuff, and really anything could have gone wrong, and it didn't. And so many people who know Jessica Buchanan here are so relieved that she's out there alive after 92 days, Ashley.
So, Nkampile, I want to ask you, you're in Nairobi. You talked about the hostages now, not too far from you in Djibouti. As I understand it, Jessica's husband lives in Nairobi, and obviously he is awaiting her return to this part of the world. And also her dad is en route from the U.S. It's what, 1 o'clock in the afternoon there? What's the status?
Well, at the moment, we're hearing many reports from different sources. ABC News is reporting that her dad will be reunited with her in Italy. We're hearing that Jessica Buchanan's husband, who actually lived in Somalia with her, has left Somalia and he's on his way to Djibouti. Now, the White House has not confirmed any of this, and we're working our sources to just find out when this meeting is going to happen and exactly where, Ashley.
Now, another quick question for you. Something sort of sat a little oddly with me when I heard the White House saying the window of opportunity was now because Jessica was in ill health. But then, our Chris Lawrence at the Pentagon reported that the aid organization actually says she wasn't that sick. Do we know what the story is here about her health and the timing of this?
You know, I can't wait to actually get those questions across to the person herself. Exactly. The company that she works for, the NGO that she works for, the Danish Refugee Council, says that there was a thorough examination, medical examination done on her in Djibouti at that base that I was telling you about, the U.S. base here in East Africa, and that she was okay. And we also are hearing that it was her deteriorating health condition that really expedited the authorization of this mission. So we really are waiting to hear confirmation from her, see how she's doing, you know, to confirm whether she is very, very ill or whether she is okay.
And Nkampile Mabuse, great work, excellent, and we'll look forward for your updates too as that day progresses there as well. And we also want to remind our viewers there are still several hostages being held in Somalia, among them a British tourist, 2 Spanish doctors who were seized in Kenya, and an American journalist who was just kidnapped on Saturday. Dozens of sailors also are being held captive by Somali pirates off the coast.